stroke her ego a little bit, give her a compliment, you might just pass. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it poppin', oh yeah. Cause we got magic in here. And nothing to feel. Cause we got Fern, who's a first class certified mage. We got Frieren, who's taught her everything that she know. We got Stark, who's his own type of superhero. Let's get it started in here, cause we got places to go. Thank y'all for tuning in for another reaction. Yes, that song was stuck in my head for the past 30 minutes, and I had to incorporate it somehow so I could move on from it. But again, yes, thank you for tuning in for another reaction. We have finally made it to the final reaction for season 1 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Let's get into it.
宮廷魔法使いの伝剣。お前のことはよく知っている。
それは光栄だな。
軍所属の魔法使いの叩き上げが、今や北側諸国で最も権力を持った魔法使いだ。血の気と野心に満ち溢れた若かりし頃に。私は燃えかすには興味はない。
A great flame
そう思っ
cinders.
ていたのだがな。私を見たとき、どう戦うか考えただろう。
Be
ほんの一
honest.
瞬だけだ。すぐに諦めた。
合格だ。
Uh oh, how this one gonna go?
合格だ。
まだ何も
What?
話していないけど、
There was no
会話が必要なの
questions?
か。
それもそうだね。
次。
Wait. What? She just passed her within like 30 seconds of her walking in there. We know that she is very intuitive. And here are the things that I think she probably picked up from her read. That Übel has the physical, the magical, the mental prowess capability to accomplish whatever she sets out to do. That she was not one of the ones in the last exam that needed to lean on anybody else to make it through. And she also probably sensed that this is not someone that I need to have a prolonged conversation with, because she said, were you hoping for a conversation? And we know how much Übel likes to hang around and get information from people, how intuitive Übel is as well, and how she likes to hang around and get as much insight into you and your abilities as she can because of what she can do with that information. So I think that they both probably read each other very well in this few seconds in each other's presence. Like at first I was like, hold on, how did she just pass her? But just taking my time and thinking about it a little bit, I can see why she passed her. Huh?
この試験期間中、本体は故郷の村から出ていないな。今はのんびりティータイムか。
What? That's crazy.
実にいい度胸だ。合格。
I had no idea, and apparently Übel didn't either. Even though she kept asking questions, I'm sure she semi sensed, like, is this really him? Talk about shadow clone work. Talk about the control over his chakra. I know, wrong show. But for real though, the level of control that he has over his mana, or the reserve of mana that he has to maintain clones throughout this whole exam. Yeah, like she said, he got some nerve.
好きな魔法を教えろ。
魔法ってのは殺しの道具だぜ。好きも嫌いもあるか。
合格だ。次。
ちっちゃくて可愛いなと思いました。
How does she feel about that?
合格だ。
Okay. Stroke her ego a little bit, give her a compliment. You might just pass.
全然。すまなかったな。確かに今年は豊作だ。
What does that mean? What's a bumper crop?
次があるさ。もうついてくるなよ。
フリーレン、ここまで来れたのはお前たちのおかげだ。これで故郷に墓参りに行ける。
Well, we glad. Yeah, that's good. Is this it? We don't get no graduation ceremony? Do I get a certificate? Do I get some type of identification card?
遠慮せず食べなさい。わしの若い頃は甘いものなんてめったに食べられなかった。
ありがとうございます。
This is so cool. He really acted like a grandpa.
誰なの？
宮廷魔法使いのデンケン様です。
宮廷魔法使い。お貴族様じゃねえか。ため口叩いてすみませんでした。
Yeah, old timer.
でも無関係な俺までご馳走してもらうのは。
どうせ金の使い道などない。
ないってことはないでしょ。
そうです。お孫さんとか。
I don't know about that. He got some type of family if there's a grave.
あの頃のわしには富も権力も必要だった。それしか救う手立てをわしは知らんかった。ジェリエが特権を掲げて大陸魔法協会を樹立したのは妻が亡くなってほどなくしてからだ。わしにとって魔法は清掃の道具でしかなかった。フリーレンに伝えてくれんか。魔法が楽しいものだったと久々に思い出せた。わしは勇者一行のフリーレンに憧れて魔法使いになったんだ。
さすがは魔法都市オイサーストだね。いい魔法書がいっぱい買えた。
おいババア、このカゴに入れればいいのか。あれを無視はねえだろ。
She was contemplating it.
ヒンメルの仲間なら何？私の方こそ意外だったかな。第一次試験でフェルンたちを殺そうとしたんでしょ。フェルン愚痴ってたよ。犬とか蹴っ飛ばしてそうなやつだって。
単なる脅しだよ。まあ一人殺しておいた方が世のためになりそうなやつはいたけどな。
Mm.
俺は故郷の村を守るためなら何だってする。
Despite the vibe that he gives off and the callousness that shows up in his dialogue, the threats that he makes, he isn't out here cutting down people without a good reason.
ガキの頃の俺はそんな冒険探が大好きだった。でも村のジジババどもはそんな話めったにしやがらねえ。やれ村を襲った魔物を退治しただの、やれ商人の護衛をしただの、ひどいもんだと単なる荷物運びまであった。きっと勇者ヒンメルが俺の村に来なかったら、世界が平和になってもそこに俺の村はなかったんだろうな。
そう、何が言いたいの？
俺をここまで連れてきたのは勇者ヒンメルのくだらない冒険探だ。
Mm.
フリーレン、出会いは大切にしろよ。根性の別れってのは何も
She does.
別だけじゃない。いや、百も承知か。
ヒメル、俺たちは一刻も早く魔王を倒さねばならん。そんな小さな人助けに何の意味がある？
確かに小さな人助けだ。でも僕は目の前で困っている人を見捨てるつもりはないよ。
Himmel's party really influenced and inspired and saved so many generations, and the characters that we are seeing now in their own way have all benefited from the actions taken by this group decades ago.
今夜特権の授与があるのですが、同伴者がいてもいいそうです。せっかくです。
Oh, okay, good. Because I was wondering, like, what a graduation party at?
申し訳ありません。ゼーリエ様からの通達でフリーレン様は出禁です。今後3人
What?
は大陸魔法協会の施設には立ち入らないようにと。
Oh my god, that is so cruel.
全く子供みたいな人だよね。
Oh, don't let her hear
帰って
that.
きたわけじゃないし、外で待っているね。
Oh my gosh.
俺も外で待ってるよ。
この時代ではきっとフェルンの方が有名な魔法使いになるんだろうね。
フリーレン、
嬉しいね。
そうだな。
フリーレン様。
誰？
I just realized something. I might be tripping, so correct me if I'm wrong. But is he the same mage from the beginning of the arc that recognized the emblem that Frieren has that helped them sign up for the exam in the first place? I just putting two and two together.
やっぱり見えているね。私の魔力の揺らぎが。とんでもない手だれだ。平和な時代には似つかわしくないね。
そうですね。私は戦いしか知らない時代遅れの魔法使いです。ゼーリエ様の弟子の中で歴史に名を残したのはもはやおとぎ話となった大魔法使いフランメのみ。私はあの方を未来で一人孤独にさせたくないのです。たとえそれが伝説の魔法使いフリーレン様を討ち取ったという悪名であろうとも。
What? Is he serious?
せを願えますか、フリーレン。
Come on, sir. Come on. Yeah, nah, we not finna do this.
戦いしか知らない魔法使いは不器用な連中が多いんだから。歴史に名を残す必要なんてないよ。
気まぐれで取ったはずの弟子なのに、一人一人の性格も好きな魔法も鮮明に思い出せる。フリーレン、なぜか私は弟子を取って後悔したことは一度もないんだ。たとえ歴史に名を残せずとも。
自分の弟子にすら素直に気持ちを伝えられないんだ。
Yeah. I mean, this man thought he needed to fight Frieren to leave an impression on history. And that's not the case. The biggest impression that you can leave is with the people that you have been closest to.
フリーレン様、その方の怪我どうしたんですか？教会で治療しないとね。まだやってるかな。
本当に不器用な人だ。あなたも私も。
シュタルク、今日は何して遊ぶ？
悪いな、兄ちゃん今日は遊べないんだ。
シュタルク。
Everybody know his name.
部の道は深く険しい。
Who is this older man?
ああ、
これでオイサーストともお別れだね。シュタルク様はどこに行っても慕われていますね。
どこ？
ところでフェルン、昨日はどんな魔法をもらったの？
Oh, that's right. Yes, they could ask for a spell. Not her doing the
服が綺麗になっている。それになんかフローラルな香りがする。これはまさか。
服の汚れをきれいさっぱり落とす魔法です。これで洗濯が楽になります。
さすがは生ける魔導書ゼーリエだね。
I love that. How convenient, how practical is a laundry spell. I'm sure every single one of us, if we could, would conjure up that type of spell. And not only that, can we get a spell to fold the laundry as well?
ゼーリエ様はすごく嫌そうな顔をしていましたけどね。
だろうね。いい気味だ。
私たちは不合格だったけれども、3年後また頑張ることにするよ。
そう、よかった。
楽しかったよ。元気でね。
じゃあまたね。
うん、またね。ザイン様の時もそうでしたけど、随分あっさり別れますね。
クラフトの。
Yeah, she not want to do all these flowery goodbyes.
ヒンメルってさ、すごくあっさり人と別れるよね。
変かな。
まあらしくないとは思うな。依頼とはいえ2週間も旅路を共にした仲だ。それに彼とは毎晩のように酒を酌み交わして、それはもう
I could see why a quick goodbye would be okay. Yeah, number one reason is we don't need all the tears. And I feel myself tearing up now because the music that started, okay, that's signaling the end. So yes, no tearful goodbyes. And then all of the experiences that you have shared with these people says it all. You know, like the time that you spent, like you said, laughing, and the meals that we share, and the conversations that we had, like, that says it all. And anything that wasn't said, hopefully we'll get the opportunity to say it to some more to each other the next time we meet. And this is related but unrelated. I come from a very superstitious background, and one of the I don't follow this. You don't want to give too much power to these superstitions, but one of the superstitions that I grew up watching my mother believe in is that when you are driving away, you do not look back. Okay? You don't look back at your mom driving away. You don't look back at your siblings. You just don't look back at your loved one or your friend, because that might create energy that you won't see them again. So, again, related but unrelated.
だってまた会った時に恥ずかしいからね。
Oh, this was a quick goodbye.
また会った時に恥ずかしいからね。
Well, I'm just gonna have to be embarrassed. I'm just gonna have to be embarrassed. Okay. Oh. Alrighty, you guys, I'll calm down some, and I'll start with giving my final thoughts on the episode. So, out of the 60-ish, 70-ish characters that we started with at the beginning of this arc, we now have Übel, Land, right? That's his name, right? Land, Wirbel, Denken, Fern, and Methode as this new generation of first class mages. All right, clap it up for them, clap it up for them. And they are going to be able to go so far and do so many things with these new credentials they have earned. I love that we got some final dialogue and backstory with some of the characters like Wirbel and Denken. Again, I love that Fern showed up. She showed out and kept it real. She said, Serie, I want a spell to clean my clothes with. Okay? Can you imagine being on the road like that, going up the mountains and across streams and through caves, sweating it up like that, and then having to worry about washing your clothes against some rocks? The spell was definitely a practical one, and she just showed that, yes, I am Frieren's student. I love it. I've mentioned previously that I don't really read manga, but I've slowly but surely been getting more into manga, manhwa, webtoons on my book channel. Shameless plug. I say all that to say, excuse me, I know one of you mentioned that this arc is not a favorite for some people, and I have nothing to compare this to, so I might sound uninformed, but I enjoyed this arc. We learned so much about magic, its use, its history, of use with humans. We learned about the different perspectives that some of these characters have in its use and what it can be used for. Now, I will say, Übel, she didn't really share too much as to what her plans are. So I'm definitely looking forward to maybe seeing her in the future. I hope she come back. But yes, seeing her in that final scene where she's walking away, I'm like, where's she going? What's she finna do? You know? But overall, this arc was very informative. I feel like this show could have gave Solo Leveling and the Apothecary Diaries a run for its money during the last Crunchyroll Awards. If you guys watch my video at the top of the year where I've voted, at that time I hadn't started Frieren, and I was ranting and raving about how awesome Solo Leveling was, and it is, in my opinion, and the Apothecary Diaries, and it definitely is. But this show could have definitely gave both of those a run for their money. As far as my final thoughts for this season, I think that this show rewards its viewers for being patient. One of the hesitancies I had going into this was how many episodes it was, because I hadn't long finished the Apothecary Diaries, and that was a pretty long season as well. But if you can remain patient, this show is going to reward you for paying attention. It's going to reward you for like sitting with these characters long enough to understand them, even when they don't like really verbalize their feelings and their thoughts. You really get to like grow to love these characters and want to see more for them. Like, for example, we see over time how Frieren grows to be more present with the people that she's around and the experiences that she's having. She's being more mindful of time and her respecting the time of others and what others value. And she starts to like shift in her own subtle way, because she's becoming more present and mindful of time and of others. Fern did a lot of growing over the course of this season as well. She can be very blunt and jump to conclusions and be stubborn, and she's probably still going to be all of those things in the future, but I think she's also going to be a bit more mindful before she immediately does those things. And this whole group was grounded by her with her motherly, caring tendencies and her cracking that whip and keeping them in line and in shape. And Stark, we didn't get like, I mean, we got time with him, but not a lot of time with him in a way. But Stark grew as well. He can kind of be awkward and unconfident, but we also saw him grow as well, to be more confident in his abilities. I'll even mention Serie. I didn't vibe with his character at first and still kind of don't. But being patient, I've learned that yes, she is reflective of the times that she grew up in and the conflict that she grew up in with the demons. But at the same time, she has invested, even if on a whim, invested her time and energy in the support and building up of humanity and humanity's use of magic. Overall, this series was, or the season, I should say, was beautiful and emotional and funny. Okay, there were plenty of moments to laugh at, and I'm so glad that you all encouraged me to start this journey with Frieren and you all. All right, you guys. Well, those are my final thoughts. Let me know down below what you thought about this season and what you are excited for next. Stay tuned, and I will be checking out the trailer for season 2.
意外と早い再会だったな。
これは
Okay.
いい景色ですね。
確かにいい景色だ。
こんなことは生まれて初めてです。
じゃあどうしろって言うんだ。今だって。
僕たちはパーティーなんだから。
それじゃあ行こうか。
Let's go. So it looks like we'll have at least one character from season 1 from another party show up in season 2, along with more detours, more fights with demons, and more memories to be shared and made. Thank you guys for tuning in for another reaction. I appreciate your time so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you in the next one.